Best thing about this time of year is if you're lucky enough to have another practice, which means you got another 40 minutes. Chris Beard and Texas Tech do. Coach, we were just talking about that idea before we started up here. You got to practice with your guys today. How much is that, as much as anything, what you treasure this time of year?
It's special. I mean, one more team meal, one more practice, one more game, hopefully two for us. But in all my years of coaching, I've never known when that last practice was on our home floor. But this time you do. So it's kind of special. It was almost like senior game, but it was a practice.
Interesting. I read so much about this trip that y'all took before the season started, this team building deal where you went off the grid and you got to know each other because there were a lot of new pieces. When you left there, what sense did you have about how it connected this group to each other?
You know, it was real. Some of our retreats, you don't really know how this will translate to the season, but we bonded, man. We went out in the middle of nowhere. We had so many new guys. We hung out for about 2 days. We didn't have any cell phones. We got to know each other off the court. It's a big piece of the run that we're making.
You told me when we visited last time about a conversation you had with Jay Wright in the tunnel after you lost in the Elite Eight last year about how you were worried you wouldn't get back. And he told you that, when you get to a certain place, it can happen quickly. Did you have any idea, leaving, Boston last year, that you could be in the same deal and now actually take the step further this year, given how much was new?
To predict that we'd be in a Final Four after losing so much from that Elite Eight team, no.
Right.
But I did have high expectations that we could be a part of the fight, because I think what Coach was saying is once that experience of an Elite Eight run is part of your culture, then, it's valuable.
You used the word I wanted to get to next, fight. You look at Michigan State, and, man, you're similar. They want to guard you. You want to guard them. You both play great defense. So how do you win a rock fight with Michigan State and Izzo?
Well, in our program, there's some games from time to time where we think we can out-tough the opponent, and that's not our objective in this one. I told the guys today in practice, we're not out-toughing Michigan State, but we have to match their toughness. And if we do that, then it turns into a basketball game, and then, the team that plays the best will win. But the toughness factor, they're the standard of all this in college basketball. Every team I've ever coached, we've talked about Michigan State toughness, so it's almost surreal that we actually get to compete against the team that we respect so much.
Given that level of respect and given that he's now going to 8 of these and this is your first, how do you let yourself enjoy it, which you should, and at the same time try to figure out how to outmaneuver the master?
Well, everybody keeps saying that, but I've been to like 24 Final Fours. Now I was drinking draft beer in the lobbies. This is the first one I get to coach in, but I've been to the Final Four. But no, we just rely on experience. I've talked to 3 or 4 of the coaches in the Big 12 about their Final Four experiences. I'm just trying to gain as much information as I can to help our players. We've got Sip and Sean Sutton on our staff here that were both part of Oklahoma State's Final Four, coached by legendary Hall of Famer Eddie Sutton, who should have been put in the Hall of Fame today. And I know I don't have much of a platform, but I don't understand why one of the best coaches in the history of our game isn't in the Hall of Fame yet. But we'll rely on those 2 guys that have been in the Final Four before to help us.
Tell me about drinking cold beers at the Final Four. It's going to be a different trip this year, man. But you should have a cold beer somewhere just in celebration. So how do you, a guy who enjoys life, enjoy the trip and still focus on the business part of the equation?
Yeah, we're going to try to do both. I mean, we tell our guys all the time, you got to smell the roses.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that. We're going to enjoy. But when it gets time down to business, whether it be film sessions, getting good sleep at night, practice, and ultimately the games, we understand that we're there to try to win. But we are going to enjoy it because this is the Final Four. And I think not trying to enjoy it would be a mistake.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to close with just this quick thought. You've been on our shows a bunch through the years and through this meteoric rise from that Arkansas Little Rock upset of Purdue a few years ago to this. When you look around, Chris, at that incredible journey that's happened so quickly, what personal satisfaction do you allow yourself sitting there right now?
Probably not as much as I should, but one thing I do have a lot of satisfaction with is I think I represent a lot of small college coaches out there, whether it be high school or junior college or Division II, III, NAIA. I think in some small way I carry the torch for all of us out there that there's great coaching at all sorts of different levels, but only a few get the chance to do this on this stage. So I take that responsibility real seriously. I hope there's a lot of people out there that maybe I don't even know that enjoy watching our team and understand just a few years ago, I was coaching at schools that most people never heard of.
Yeah, and now you're going to Minneapolis and under the brightest lights against one of the legends and one of the toughest guys out there. You're going to not try to out-tough him, but try to outscore him for 40 minutes. Good luck with that, man. Enjoy the trip and all that you all have earned. I appreciate your time always, man.
Thank you very much.